Again, everybody. July 1st, Obi Blanc was named a new staff member for North Carolina State University. He joins us now. Obi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to be on.
Good,
Thank you.
dude. We are missing you on the international scene. Let's go back, set the stage. Former Lock Haven, Oklahoma State athlete. You made a name for yourself as a freestyle star. Then it was as of late, you were up in Maryland. But now you're the new volunteer assistant coach at NC State. How did all this happen?
Well, just how everything happens. Just looking for great opportunities to coach and to train, and while surveying different places, NC State proved to be the best fit for what I'm looking for to further my career in coaching and also be in a great environment to train and make that Olympic team and bring back a gold medal.
What are you looking for at this stage of your career? You're not exactly the new kid on the block, but you surely are one of the, if not the most talented. You may not be in the current rankings of 55, but you got to be dang close to getting back on that treadmill, if you will.
Oh, most definitely. Even now, prepping for 2016. That at this stage of my career, I think putting that cap on top with the gold cap, that would
Yeah.
be is really what I'm looking to do. Finishing on top, best in the world, and at this stage of my career, I think I'm ready for that. I have the experience necessary.
Mm. When you think of Wolfpack Wrestling, you think of Pat Poplizio, you think of Frank Beasley and Jamil Kelly. When you say you're looking for a great place to train and to assist, how did this trio of guys, how did this campus, this school with great history, how did it fit into the picture for you? Was it a pretty easy decision?
Yes, it was pretty easy decision. Once you come to Raleigh and you visit the area, you fall in love with it first of all, and then you walk in the wrestling room and you see the group of guys, the coaches, and their focus, the mentality, and the tradition they're trying to build and build upon, and where they're trying to go into the future. It was a very easy fit for me because I want to be the best. The program wants to be the best, and so for me, it was really easy choice in fitting in this program and their aspiration. I'm loving it and looking to be a part of it.
Obi Blanc, our guest, U.S. World Team Trials and U.S. Open champion. And, you've got a wealth of experience that you bring to the room. A wealth of experience. It's like hiring one of the elite guys out there. It's like going out to buy a Chevy and you come home with a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying, dude? This is awesome for the guys. And I know, listen, you've never been that way. You've never walked with that swagger that says, you know what, I'm better than everybody else. You've really been out there to prove yourself every single time. Where does that come from? Back in Florida or where?
Yes, definitely. When I started wrestling, I started pretty late in my career, coming on as a sophomore, starting wrestling, and I think ever since I want to be on par. I wanted to be as good as everyone else. I didn't want my late start to be a disability, so I'd use those summers, work really, really hard to be the best that I can be, and I want to be the best in the world. So I'm not settling for just being ranked number one or just being on the world team. I want to be the best in the world. So for me, that drive is always there to always keep chasing the thrill of the hunt. So definitely chasing that goal, and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Recently, Coleman Scott was hired by North Carolina.
Yeah,
There's you. There's a whole lot of Oklahoma State Cowboys now in the Carolinas. What's up with that? You guys are like
I know. Cowboy
migrating to the
South.
area. Cowboy South, is that what it's called?
No, I'm not corny or anything. I'm just thinking about it a little bit. Definitely. I mean, what can I say? The weather's amazing. Opportunity to grow is high. What can I say? Get a couple Cowboys around the area. They're gonna want to be the best. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice these next couple of years going back and forth, competing against each other.
With the goals of producing NCAA champs and All Americans along the way, and perhaps Olympic level athletes at NC State. Um, How do you see your contributions? Where, what do you see yourself doing as far as contributing to those end goals?
Um, Being a kind of guy that the guys can come to in terms of getting better, achieving their own personal goals as well as the administrative goals. I'm here to be whatever is needed of me to help those guys reach their goals in the program, be that stepping stool, whatever way I can be. I just want to be that guy that whatever you need, you could come to me, rely on my experience in technique or skills or whatever that may be. Basically, want to be a some kind of a catapult to help those guys reach the top. So I'm looking to be that guy that people could come to for whatever they need to.
Gwiz, I understand, was really looking forward to wrestling with you on the mat. Is that true? Are you even going to get anywhere near him?
I don't know what's up with these heavyweights. They always want to challenge these small guys, man. I don't know. He's gonna have to spot me 100 points or something,
You
because
or more.
yeah, spot me 100 points with 30 seconds left on the clock.
I had to interview him right after he won his NCAA title. Dude's a sweater. He is a sweater. I mean, you can go
Yeah,
swimming, dude.
yeah.
He's a sweater. You've got
Hard work.
some great history there, of course, to work around and work through. Darian Caldwell, I think, arguably the most famous of NC State wrestlers, at least in recent vintage.
Right.
We card his match with Brent Metcalf at the 149-pound finals of the 2009 NCAAs as one of the best I've ever seen. It was surely exciting, but
Yeah.
perhaps one of
Yeah.
the biggest upsets in NCAA history as well. So I mean, it's not like you don't bring your own with you. You know what I mean? It's still there's some great stuff to build on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And just what we're trying to do is to have more of those moments. I believe we have guys that can do that, and we're going to keep bringing in guys that can be part of that tradition and to build off of that. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that in the future. And everybody knows Darian Caldwell, but I think Nick is going to be another guy that
Yeah.
people are going to think about as being one of the best. And got a lot of freshmen, young guys that are looking to be the best as well. So it's great. It's really a treat for me to be part of that beginning of that program and trying to see where it can all go. And I'm excited to help those guys. Maybe we could add a couple more guys to your list of great matches or big
Yeah.
upsets. So hopefully, we can have guys that when they go into the tournament or whatnot, people start to think, hey, NC State is here to compete and not the underdog. So I'm looking forward to be part of that.
When it comes to style, you had 25, if my records are right. You had 25 pins collegiately, and out of the 170 matches or so, that's not necessarily a pinner, but it's not
No.
like you don't know how to pin. I mean, pinning is a graceful art as far as I'm concerned. If you can power
Mhm.
your opponent into the mat or put them in that position, is that something you can teach as a coach?
Yes, and I think I'm a lot better at wrestling now than I was 4 or 5 years ago or whatnot. And from being around the Oklahoma State program and guys that are best in the U.S., you tend to pick up a couple of things. So it's definitely something I can teach by seeing and learning from the best do it. So I'd like to see those guys have a lot more pins than I did in my career.
What
Yeah,
do you,
we need those.
what should people be looking for as you make your way through the coaching ranks, uh, and specifically at NC State?
I mean, for me, I like offense. So I'm looking to translate that to the athletes that I work with. A lot of offense, a lot of scoring, putting up points and getting more pins, more bonus points, making matches exciting and winning. And there's nothing more exciting than winning and doing it in a um, offensive fashion, and that's what I look to bring in to the table.
Let's talk a little bit about testing.
Mm.
Uh, it's a tough topic. Okay, I I have guys like Chael Sonnen. I have guys like James Stewart in the motorcycle end of my business that are going through testing issues for one reason or another. It could be in products, could be intentional, whatever. Where are you at on dealing with that emotionally? Because that can be really hard on an athlete emotionally.
Yeah, sure, it definitely can, and it's one of those things. If you know you're doing something, then maybe it's a little different. When you know you haven't really done anything and can't find anything, it's even worse. In my situation. But I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry. If you know you're doing something illegally, yeah, I don't think it's that hard of an issue to deal with, because you know what you were doing. But when, let's say, they say you've done this and you haven't, and you can't find it anywhere, can't find any trace of it in all your supplements or whatsoever, yeah, then it's super hard. It's one of the hardest things to deal with. But like I said, for me, it's pretty cut and dry. No, I didn't use any illegal substances knowingly or anything like that. Doing all the tests, doing over 20-some odd tests 2 weeks before the World Team Trials and everything. So for me, it was hard not getting to compete like I wanted to, but knowing that I didn't do anything wrong illegally or anything like that, and I don't know, just it's one of those things I can't really answer, and only thing I could do is move forward from it and do the best I can and keep that same character I've always have. And it's one of those things, maybe gets figured out years later, who knows. So for me, mentally, it doesn't weigh on me at all, because I know who I am, and I didn't do anything to cheat my opponents in any kind of way, and that's all it is.
I've always known you to be a very honest young man, and I don't understand exactly what or how the test ended up the way it did, but you pulled yourself out of the 2013 World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, and I have to tell you, my heart broke, because it had to have been perhaps one of the most difficult decisions you've ever made in your athletic career. Was it?
Oh, for sure, definitely. Last year I was feeling the best I ever have, and that's because of my conditioning. I'd never done so much conditioning in my life. So it's usually, if you're a quick athlete, you're a fast twitch muscle fiber athlete, your biggest opponent is going to be your conditioning, because you're moving so fast. And so we figured that out, and we had to pick up our conditioning. And I tell you what, those hills training, those hills are meant for cars, okay? Look at that. So I'm doing hill training 3 times a week, running over 3 miles in the hills and tackling that gave me the confidence and to know that I could rely on my conditioning to go that distance, and my skills and experience. So I was feeling great last year, and it was pretty heart-wrenching to know those 2 guys that have actually took bronze. I've beat those guys.
Yeah.
I've had a really close match with the guy that won the whole thing. So to know that I could have been the top 3 and mentally believing that and not to have a chance, of course, yeah. It hurt quite a bit. And, one of the first emails I sent was to Angel, when he was the guy. And, I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm wishing you the very best. I know you can do very well out there, and I want you to know personally, like, I didn't do anything to cheat you or any of my opponents, and that's from me to you, and I wish you the very best out there. Go get it. So,
did that bother you? I mean, knowing that there's a whole lot of support out here, did it bother you knowing that there might be somebody or people that were critical, perhaps, or questioning? Did it bother you that your credibility was being drawn into question?
Oh, of course. Anytime your credibility or your character is drawn up, it's something of concern. But for me, I think I didn't really see a lot of that. At least personally, I didn't see it. I saw a lot of support, especially my wrestling club and my coaches. Just people at Titan Mercury, they rallied around me to support me and help me in any way. And that line of support, it really helped me a lot, just to know that people had my back to help me clear out the whole situation or get to the bottom of everything. So out of this whole thing, I come out more grateful and happy with the people around me than feeling resentment or anything like that. If people feel a certain way, they're allowed to. And like I said, knowing yourself is the most important thing. And no matter how people feel about you, if you know who you are and you're comfortable with that, what can you do? So.
What do you do? What are you doing for fun these days besides wrestling, running, working out? You're one of the most finely tuned athletes on planet Earth. And how do you spend your off time?
My off time, I'm a simple man. I'm a very simple man. I'm into movies, fishing, relaxing. Those kind of things are what is good to me. The more I can relax and do less, the better it is. Netflix, just relaxing, seeing a good movie. That's how I spend my time, hanging out with the guys in the team, the coaching staff, and just enjoying everyday life. Just the easygoing part is the fun part for me. So easy guy.
What's your favorite series on Netflix?
Series? Oh man, there's so many. Sherlock is great.
Yeah.
Luther and House of Cards.
House of Cards. You're a House of Cards guy.
Yeah, I like things that are well written, well thought out, and I appreciate that aspect of it.
All right, and you got to be excited to see the movie coming out this fall, Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher, oh, you know it. I'm so excited, and the wrestling community should be excited as well. I mean, wrestling on a big screen, big stars. I mean, finally getting a little bit of recognition, and I think it's really important that people show the support necessary to let Hollywood and everybody know that this community is excited and we're out here.
All right, here's your challenge film for the week. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, write it down. I want you to watch this movie and then let me know what you think of it. It's real easy. It's the year 1941. And it's significant. It's a comedy, but it's Steven Spielberg's first big film. Features Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, a great cast. It's a period piece, but it's very, very funny. And I want to get an email or a text from you telling me what you thought of it. You'll just absolutely, well, I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do. Adam Fry Classic is coming up. Are you considering wrestling in that?
Right now, my biggest concern is training the guys I'm working with.
Okay.
Right now, that's number one for me. That's my priority, and getting myself in condition, ready to win. It is something that's going to come. I have a lot of time to prepare for that, but right now I'd like to get those guys up to speed, those incoming freshmen ready to go, ready to hit the ground running.
Business first.
Business first.
Getting down to it. NC State. Always good to talk to, man. Obi, I was so glad to see where you landed. There's a lot of respect there for that staff, and I think it's going to be great for that staff and those athletes there to have you there. You're a real positive influence.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, and like I said, a lot of good things coming. Thank you.
Amen, brother. Good job out of you today. We appreciate it. Oh, Benson Blanc on Takedown. I'm Scott Casper. Thanks for watching.